Welcome to the behind the scenes video of me driving from Kansas to Key West, Florida. And currently I'm starting the day here in Lenexa, Kansas, which is just to the west of the Kansas-Missouri border in Kansas City. It's gonna be a long excursion and I'm gonna take the scenic route, hopefully a lot of back roads, a lot of two-lane roads. You'll hopefully have seen a lot of the videos already filmed, and I'm not quite sure where I'm going. Actually, at this point, you know before I do, because you've probably seen some videos I released on this trip. I've got a few of the days planned out. Let me show you what that looks like. So here's my whole trip. I've just a very generic itinerary. I like to try to be pretty planned out. And last night I drove to Kansas City. I'm here at the La Quinta, and now it's this morning, released the video about Spur, Texas, if you saw that, and I'm gonna explore US 50 Missouri for a little bit. So I've got about 3 days planned, and then I've got Saturday reasonably planned. I have no hotels, and then it gets a little bit less planned after that. And on the 22nd, I'm picking up my brother and my sister-in-law from the airport in Fort Lauderdale, and we're gonna drive on down to Key West. I've got my Delorme Atlas and Gazetteers ready. A lot of you ask what maps I use when I'm exploring. I've got Missouri, Kentucky, Tennessee, Alabama, Florida, and Texas, which I'm not going there, but I'm actually doing some editing while I'm on the road and kind of need that map. I also bought a new toy, a little GoPro. Hopefully this gives some good shots. If you see anything on top of the car, driving through some towns, or maybe some other, who knows, maybe I was on a jet ski or something, this was probably how it got filmed. And like some of the other behind the scenes videos I've done, I'm not gonna revisit the towns I've already done releases about. And so these will be things I didn't put in those videos, and you know, maybe some of the places I'm staying, maybe some of the places I stopped to have a meal. Who knows what I'll find along the way. Let's head out on the road, and we're gonna head right into Missouri. And we're starting our journey to Florida by way of Missouri and Kentucky and Tennessee, kind of a roundabout way. I've got a new setup with the GoPro. As mentioned, I got the GoPro, and you know, when you buy something, you just get distracted by it. So I've been for the past, I don't know, hour fiddling with stuff and just trying to get it. It's first time using it. I've got it mounted on the front of the vehicle, and so kind of comical, but it's 9:41 and I'm now getting started. I need to get my butt in gear if I'm going to get done today, and be able to get to where I'm going before the sun sets. Today I'm going to end up in Jefferson City. There's like 260 miles on US 50 in Missouri, and that's kind of halfway, maybe a little bit past halfway. And we're just starting in the concrete jungle of Kansas City, so can't wait to get out on the two-lane roads. The sun sets around 5 o'clock in Missouri this time of year, and it doesn't give you much time if you don't get started real early in the morning, so maybe tomorrow I'm gonna have to just get up a little bit earlier and get going and not fiddle with all the technology. But it's been a good day. I'm enjoying these small towns. I've driven this way before, but I've not really stopped and looked at some of these towns. So yeah, very enjoyable afternoon. We have made it to Jefferson City. That's pretty much where we're gonna end for today, and the sun is basically setting as we speak, so good timing. Took a little longer than I thought to get here, and at this time of the year the sun sets at about 4:45, so pretty early compared to where I'm from. So we're gonna go to the hotel, and then we'll check out a little bit of Jefferson City. Well, that's the end of my first day out here in Missouri. I'm in the middle of Missouri now, and had a nice dinner at the Irish pub. Got invited to do karaoke, but I declined. I really wanted to, but it's very easy to do something like that and then be really tired for the rest of the way. I got a long trip ahead of me. So appropriate ending here on the Missouri River right behind me. Got all the Christmas lights. There's the train tracks. There's the bridge over the river. Yeah, pretty good ending to day one. Day two, and we are once again starting slow. I got up a little bit earlier, worked out a little bit this morning, and was ready to have a little bit of a head start compared to yesterday because ran out of daylight, as you saw. And you know, kind of got going, and the first thing I went and got gas, and the hotel didn't have a great breakfast, or at least what I was looking for, so I wanted to get something kind of a light little breakfast too. And the place I went to, the gas station, Mr. Convenience, did not have what I was looking for. So not as convenient as I was hoping for. So then I'm like, okay, well, I gotta go somewhere else. And then I was looking at shooting the intro for the US 50 part, and I couldn't find the new microphone. I just bought a new microphone, and it's like $150, and I used it yesterday, and I couldn't find it. And I couldn't find it anywhere. And I'm like, what in the heck? And if it's something small, I usually don't care too much, but I literally just got it, and it did cost a little bit of money there. So I went back to the hotel. I went and looked in the room. I looked through everything, and I could not find it. And you know, it's one of those things where you give up, basically, and you find it. And sure enough, it had fallen down into like the crack of the side of the back seat over here where I have all my electronic stuff all together. So went and reshot everything. And then, you know, still couldn't find anything really I was looking for to eat. So I've now stopped in Schubert, Missouri, which is basically it has a church and a gas station, and got something. And so yeah, so you know, that was first world problems, I guess you call it, here on the road on YouTube. So I was thinking maybe, you know, a lot of people ask about how the hotels are that I stay in. And I think now I've come up with a, you know, for myself, a, you know, something out of 5 system. And I was at the Baymont, and here's my 5 categories. A little bit different than maybe some people's categories. Maybe some of them are the same, but is it clean? Is it, is the bed comfortable? That's important for sleeping. Does the shower pressure, you know, is it good? You know, good shower pressure. Do they have good towels? I'm gonna come back to that in a second. And then the last one is, do they have good coffee? 5. So there's 5. So the Baymont, clean, comfortable bed. Yes, that's 2. Shower pressure, I'm gonna give it a pass. It was close, right on the edge, but it was a pretty solid shower pressure. It failed in the category of towels. I just don't understand why hotels can't have better towels. Like, it's pretty nasty when you look at these little towels and they're just have stains on them, or they're just so thin. So I always bring my own towel. I used my towel this morning, thank goodness. And the 5th category, the coffee, pretty solid actually, because I couldn't figure out the breakfast they had was not very healthy. It was like pancakes and stuff like that. So the coffee was good, but the breakfast wasn't great. But I'm just interested in mainly the coffee at the hotel. So 4 out of 5, pretty good. Could have easily been 3 out of 5, the water pressure, but we'll give it a pass, 4 out of 5. Yeah, so we'll continue on. I'll do that a little bit quicker next time, and that way you'll at least know what I think of the hotel. But today I've got 36 places on my list here and starting here, going down 36 to get me to the end of US 50. So I've got to get going to get to these 36 places. Here in Schubert, I'm at about number 6, so I've already got a pretty good start to the day. It's about 10 a.m. And yeah, so that's going to be the day just on US 50. So now I'm done with, as I got the sun is right there. I'm done with my US 50 trip. I just drove over a bridge. This is the magic of YouTube or editing or film or whatever you want to call it. Because I wanted to get the final shot of driving, you know, over the Mississippi River into Illinois. Well, I'm not going to Illinois tonight. I'm going back to Missouri actually, and then south. So this is driving around and turning around for miles to go back over the bridge again. And I don't know how many people think about that when you're watching a video. Is, I wonder what happens at the end of the video. What does he do? This is what I'm doing. I'm driving around like an idiot, trying to get back into Missouri. I haven't been doing a lot of behind the scenes video stuff because I was so busy on US 50, and now I'm done with that little project and I'm heading to Pilot Knob, Missouri. Kind of funny name. And some crazy traffic here south of St. Louis. When you're out in the rural areas and it's not a lot of traffic, and then you get to a place like St. Louis during rush hour, it's just like, oh my goodness. But I was saying, I went to like over 60 towns or places in the last 2 days, so it was really busy, and I was fighting the daylight trying to get done. Today I got done a little bit earlier because I didn't go to one of the detours I wanted to do, and so, you know, now I've got about an hour to get to Pilot Knob, and I think it won't be quite that crazy on the way down to Florida. We'll see. I say that, and then it'll probably something like that. I'll just create more places to visit when I don't really need to, but it's a lot of fun anyways. But yeah, so little hour drive. The sun is setting at 4 o'clock already over here. I was looking ahead at the map as to where I'm going now, and I noticed that there's a place called Olympian Village that I've always wanted to go to. I didn't realize it's going to be on the road to Pilot Knob. So it's not exactly convenient for me to make a video because it's getting dark now, and I'd have to backtrack quite a bit tomorrow. But I'm going to at least pop in on this. So this will be a little extra feature on the behind the scenes, and see if maybe it's a place I want to come back and make a full-length video of later. Well, I found the Olympian Village City Hall. I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't quite this. I don't know, it's just a community of houses. There's really, the only thing that's Olympic themed is all the roads have kind of ancient Greek mythology names, which is pretty cool. But I thought I would see more like Olympic spirit, but I've seen none of that. It's very hilly. There's some kind of back roads kind of places, and very strange. I don't know if it'll be a Small Town USA video in the future, but maybe. It's unique. I always like a place with a strange, unique name, and Olympic Village, Missouri sure fits that description. Always love parking right in front of my room, and I'm number 44, one of my favorite numbers. My hero was Eric Davis growing up, baseball player. Man, I love that key. I mean, I would take it, but no, I can't do that. We'll see tomorrow how the Shepherd Mountain Inn does in the Wiseguy 5-star ratings. I don't have anywhere else planned to stay until I get all the way down to Key West, Florida. So I need to figure out tomorrow where I'm trying to stay and have a little bit of planning, but and also gonna do some editing. I do some video editing, so you all have plenty to watch on Thursdays and Sundays. So hopefully have a little bit of a relaxing evening. The Griswolds are on TV.
There isn't anything on that tape that shouldn't be there. Remember that that's gone, right? You erased it?
Yeah, I erased that, honey.
Well, the rain is going to delay what I'm planning to do today a little bit. So I got up. I've been in a workout routine lately, so I did a little bit of working out, trying to do that on a daily basis, 20-30 minutes in the morning. Especially when you're traveling, it's difficult. It's really easy to get, out of fitness, you could say, and I'm on that teetering of needing to drop some lbs. So actually, I'm not teetering, I actually need to. And so but teetering on the workout routine and how trying to keep a good just kind of a daily keep in touch with that as you're traveling. And so I wake up a little earlier than I normally would, have some coffee, kind of get myself up for a little bit, and then work out for a little bit, and then kind of start the day. And it makes me start my day a little later on these days than I would. I could start like sunrise, get up and go, but I definitely feel better if I do that. So a little bit of workout this morning. In a little room like this, you don't have much area you can do things in. There's no treadmill in this facility. It's raining outside, so I had to do a little bit of a circuit routine here. Hopefully the next place I stay has a nice workout room. Went to breakfast here at the hotel, and good breakfast. The owners of the hotel is a husband-wife, couple, and they moved down here. Their son owns a barbecue place that's literally in the parking lot, and so he convinced them to come down and get the hotel. So I met the wife last night when I checked in. I met the husband this morning. He was cooking breakfast, and he told me all about the history of Pilot Knob and some places to see. Well, I'm not sure if I'll be able to see him today with the weather, but what I have planned to do is go on the oldest road in Missouri called Three Notch Road, and they called it that because way back in the day they didn't actually have roads. They put 3 notches in the tree, and that would show you the way to go. And so it's called Three Notch Road, and it was the first road in Missouri. And you can still, they have modern roads that follow that path. So I thought that would be a neat little video to make. So hopefully there's not too many dirt/mud roads today, but that was the plan. Not a long trip, kind of like the last couple of days have been. So we'll just have to wait and see. The rain might lighten up a little bit later. Other than that, with it raining the way it is now, I'm just gonna hang out, and I need to do some editing. So I'm gonna do some video editing. I'm also, even though we're have a little break with Wichita State Track and Field, there's constant coaching. Kids send me videos of their training they're doing on their own, and you're responding back and forth. So having a lot of texting back and forth, some phone calls even here and there. The coaching never ends, even though you might be on a break. It really never ends, because once we get back in January, we start our indoor track and field season. So they're training on their own right now, and just trying to keep them motivated more than anything. So I'm trying to keep them motivated, trying to keep myself motivated. The rain has not stopped yet, but I'm gonna go ahead and venture out. I gotta check out the hotel. It's 10 a.m. I'm gonna just wander around Pilot Knob here for a few minutes. They have a Civil War kind of park and something called Elephant Rock. So I was gonna check that out, but not much I can do yet with my trip for the day. So hopefully the rain will stop. By the way, the hotel, I'm gonna give 5 out of 5. Although the coffee was barely over the, you know, it was a thumbs up. If Siskel and Ebert, you know, they give like a begrudging thumbs up to a movie. That was the coffee, but it was comfortable. They had a good towel, thank goodness. The shower pressure was just over good enough, clean, and the coffee. Breakfast was real good. I enjoyed the conversation and the breakfast. So that with a combination of the passable coffee gives it 5 out of 5. Great job. I wonder if they like ghost towns. So I ended up doing a bunch of filming here in Pilot Knob and gonna make a whole, I guess, Small Town USA video out of that. I don't know. I went back and forth to just show the state park, and then I had a great interview with the guy in the historic site where they had the Civil War battle, and I'm like, I got to make this into a whole video about Pilot Knob. I shot there's not a ton of like old historic downtown buildings, so that'll be maybe a little bit different, but that's okay. It's okay to change it up and be a little bit different. Probably about 30 miles, and I'm gonna head over to the Mine Lamont or something like that. That's where the 3-notch road, the oldest road in Missouri, started, and it's still raining. It's, you know, I can do these videos in the rain. That's not the issue. It's that if I want to fly a drone, I just can't do that. So it is supposed to clear up a little bit this afternoon. It's 12:30, and we'll see. Maybe it'll just be a traveling up the road and no drone. But the drone always just gives this perspective, makes me look a lot more professional than I really am. Today was kind of a wild day. Ooh, bright lights. I was slow to get started because of the rain. I did the 3-notch road. I don't know if you watched that video. It was kind of an unusual video and an unusual thing to try to explore, but I really enjoyed it a lot. And it was just a miserable day weather-wise, but I just hung in there and ended up just having a lot of fun, and ended up in St. Genevieve, Missouri, the oldest settlement in the entire state of Missouri. It goes back into the mid-1700s. In the United States, that's pretty old, especially in this part of the country. Usually anything that's that old is going to be out east. But yeah, that was just kind of a different kind of day, and you just hang in there and you end up with something that hopefully turns out interesting enough to watch. I got about an hour to head to Sikeston, and that's where I'm going to be staying tonight. And supposed to be a pretty nice hotel. We'll see. And then we'll be heading into Kentucky tomorrow. So it's been a good 3 days in Missouri, but yeah, ready for a new state. And Kentucky is, you know, I grew up just across the river from Kentucky, so I always like going to Kentucky, see if we can find something interesting. But yeah, about an hour. I'm not going to show you anything else until we get to the hotel because it's raining and it's getting dark, and you just kind of need to stay focused and get to the hotel. Good morning, and we are back on the road heading towards Kentucky this morning. Had an enjoyable morning. Good 5-star rating on the Wiseguy ratings on the hotel. Good hotel. And the plan for today, if there is a little bit of a plan, is I'm gonna go to Wycliffe, Kentucky to do a Small Town USA video. I drove through there previously, I remember, and took a mental note and thought this is a cool little town. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna basically wander my way over towards Tennessee, kind of the border of Kentucky and Tennessee. And my idea is just to try to find some ghost towns and some unincorporated communities to film. I'm really excited to go through a place that I did last year, Cairo, Illinois, which it was a really downtrodden town. If you watch that video, it was a pretty popular video on the channel. Lots of people have done videos about it, and I'm going to drive right through it on the way. It's just kind of across the river from Wycliffe, Kentucky, so I'm kind of excited to see, you know, what it looks like. It looks the same, probably looks the same, but I'm going to do that and just kind of have a little adventure. I'm starting a little bit late this morning, 9:40 a.m. currently, and you know, worked out and took my time. It's Sunday morning. I released a video today. I'm in the middle of these Dickens County videos, and they're really doing well. And so I, you know, just kind of having a leisurely Sunday morning, and I'm not too stressed to get through to a whole bunch of different places. I don't think it's going to rain today, even though it's cloudy. So yeah, just an enjoyable Sunday stroll through eastern Missouri, southwestern Kentucky, and maybe dip into Tennessee by the end of the day for where I'm going to stay. Crossing the Mississippi River into Illinois. Cairo is pretty much how I remember it. Man, there's so many abandoned buildings in this town. It's just, I've never seen anything like it. It's remarkable and just super interesting too. I know that it's kind of negative feeling, but it's just interesting to me to check that out. I did see a couple of things being constructed, which is a positive, but way more things that are going in the opposite direction. So yeah, so we just crossed the bridge into Illinois from Missouri for just literally to pass into Cairo, and then we're going to go right back over another bridge into Kentucky. Interesting. I love when there's like a geographical oddity of how these states' borders fit together. So yeah, on to Kentucky, and then we'll go check out Wycliffe, which I won't really show here, but it'll be a Small Town USA video, and then on to the rest of Kentucky. Just finished my video about Wycliffe, Kentucky. Pretty interesting place. And now I'm gonna head east and just kind of wander through some places. I'm looking at my gazetteer, trying to figure out, you know, kind of where to go. And it's just kind of fun to, you know, just, there's some weird named places. So I'm gonna go to some weird named places. And maybe they'll be worth making a video about, maybe they won't. Hopefully in the course of the rest of today, it's almost noon. Hopefully on the course of today, I'm able to find 3 or 4 places and fashion together an interesting video. If not, at least it'll be kind of a fun day going to some places I've never been. I'm in Lovelessville, Kentucky, and I was flying my drone and there were birds everywhere. And check out this video of how close these birds came and what my drone did to avoid it. By the way, this morning when I was running, I filmed myself running on the treadmill. Watching it back was awful. That was not very pleasant, knowing that I used to be able to run good. So yeah, so I'm gonna insert me running good way back in the day here, just so y'all know I used to be able to run fast. So I thought I would be exploring a bigger distance today to try to find some good ghost towns, but basically the first 3 I found were really good, plus the raceway. So I'm gonna make that into a little video. And I think I'm done filming for the YouTube channel today, except for the behind the scenes stuff. So I've got a little bit of a drive now and maybe 2 hours of daylight left. And so there are some towns I wanted to pass through, so I'll show you that on this. And we'll be heading east and a little bit south. Eventually we'll end up in Clarksville, Tennessee. Mayfield, Kentucky, I forgot about the tornado that came through here. I was seeing these kind of open spaces where downtown should be, and I was like, man, that looks like a tornado hit that stuff. And sure enough, it did. Gonna hop on the highway here for just a little bit. When I was going through the maps to see what might be interesting, there's this Land Between the Lakes National Recreation Area I've never been to, and it looked interesting. So we'll be driving through that here and getting closer to our destination. I didn't see any bison, but I saw about 100 elk out there. That was pretty interesting. It was $5. It was worth checking out. Well, it's getting dark. It's been dark for like 2 days. So I'm gonna motor on into the hotel. I'm staying at a Super 8 in Clarksville, Tennessee. And I decided to go the cheapo route tonight, but the online ratings weren't too bad. We'll see how the Wiseguy ratings are. But yeah, gonna go check that out and kind of just relax the rest of the night.